everybody, and welcome back to Medicine for a Book Hangover. I know it's been a while since I've been on. Summer got a little crazy with the kids, but they're back to school, so am I. So this is my August wrap-up and my September TBR. In August, I read 2.5 books, so I'm going to talk about the 2 books that I actually finished. And then I'll go on to the audiobooks I finished also. And I don't have any of my August books on me right now. They're either back at the library or a friend is borrowing the other one. So I will post down below some information, and you can kind of see what the synopsis and stuff is from there. My first book I read was Sold by Patricia McCormick. I gave this book 5 stars. I read it to be involved in the December's read-along. It is a group on Instagram. I don't know if they're anywhere else, but they fight sex trafficking and all that kind of things all over the world. They raise money. They're pretty awesome. This was a fiction book, but based on like real facts, obviously. And it's based in India. Yes, India. Where a young 13-year-old girl thinks that she's getting taken away from her family to work in one of the larger cities as a maid. Well, come to find out, she was bought for sex, basically to be a prostitute. It was very eye-opening to sex trafficking. We have a lot of talk going on around here in the States, especially in Ohio. It seems that a lot of sex trafficking happens, which is so sad. But this book is based in India. But it still gives me an eye-opening experience and kind of shows me what happens in this world that I have an idea of, it happening, but exactly what they're going through and like how hard it is to get out of it and things like that. So I gave it 5 stars. It was beautifully written. It is a young adult novel, but I don't know if I'd let my 13-year-old read it without discussing the topics first, or I would read it together. But I would never just hand her the book and be like, here, read this, without explaining everything that's going on, because there is information about sex and everything in it. The second book I read was Big Little Lies by Liane Moriarty. This book was my one that I own, but my friend is reading it for our mom's group book club. I gave this one 5 stars. It is totally different from Soul, totally different. It's a little bit of a fluffier read. It does have a murder in it and a little bit of some mystery, which is really neat. But when I first started it, it was a little too Real Housewives for me, and I thought I was gonna DNF it, but then this character Jane was introduced, and she's very different from the rest of the suburban moms. She is a single mother of a little boy named Ziggy, and he was a product of a one-night stand. The father doesn't know about Ziggy. She never told him about it. She met him at a hotel bar, and it led to the baby. She's not rich like the others or anything like that. So that is that. Also, something horrible happens at the school fundraising night, and throughout the book it switches from present day, where everyone is being questioned about what happened, to back to the beginning of the book, where like leading up to what happened. So I look forward to reading more of Liane Moriarty's work. I hope I like her other books as much. From what I've heard from my friends, her writing style stays the same, but it's like different characters and everything. So it's been a really good month for reading, because those were both 5 stars. They were amazing. Now on to my 2 audiobooks that I have finished. My first one was Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. I know this book was written in the 80s. I never got to it. I wasn't into sci-fi as a younger reader at all, so I just started getting into sci-fi maybe the last few years. So I saw that it was on the top 100 American reads. So I was like, you know what? I found it on my Libby app for the library, and I was like, I might as well try it out. I thought it was hilarious. Stephen Fry, who is in the movie, does an amazing job with all the voices. There's multiple characters, and he changes his voice, and you can distinguish who's who, and it's awesome. And you know, sometimes audiobooks have a hard time, the speakers are not, the narrators are not very good, but Stephen Fry was amazing. Also, I just found out there's more books in the series, so I'm checking them out very soon, probably in the beginning of 2019, because I have a lot of books to get through. So also, or my second book that I listened to, I actually finished 2 or 3 days into September, but I'm counting it because I was like an hour and a half away from finishing it. So I finished it on Labor Day, that's what it was. But it was Dear Martin by Nick Stone. I was trying to be able to join in on the live Instagram discussion with Nick Stone on the Diverse Book Club Instagram page. I didn't finish it. I popped in a little bit, but I didn't really discuss a lot. I just kind of watched a little bit. It was another eye-opening read, well, listen this time, because it is one of my audiobooks, especially for a middle-class female. I don't have the same issues that African Americans do, obviously, with profiling and racism that is still so there's so much of it in our day and age still. It's 2019. I don't think that we should have so much racism and profiling. Like, come on, people. But this is a nonfiction book, but again, based on a lot of true events that have happened. It makes me so angry that African Americans still have all these issues, and they're still not created equal. So it starts out, this Justice McAllister, he is a 17-year-old boy. He was raised in the projects, and he was lucky enough, he worked his butt off to get into this private high school, boarding school, and to kind of get out of there. I mean, his mother still lives in the projects, and he comes and visits her and everything like that, but he lives in the boarding school, and he's one of the top guys in his class. But it starts out, he goes one night to pick up his girlfriend. She was drinking and was getting high, and he went to go, pick her up where, so she wasn't driving drunk. And a cop comes, and he just automatically puts him in handcuffs and thinks that he's trying to steal his girlfriend's car. He assumes that this girl is white before even seeing her, and assumes that he's just trying to steal this car, or do something bad to this teenage girl, which all he was doing was trying to take his girlfriend home. So it kind of, he gets, the justice, you know, gets kind of scared. I mean, that's pretty scary as a 17-year-old boy, that somebody just does, a police officer just does that instead of, you know, believing that he wasn't trying to do anything wrong. So throughout the story, he's trying to write to Martin Luther King Jr. About his situation, and like a lot more things come up, and a lot of things happen during his school year, and some and he just continues to get profiled and things, and that's about it. I don't want to say anything else about it because I don't want to have any spoilers. I gave this one a 4-star. I was back and forth about it, but it kind of annoyed me that yes, he is being profiled and everything, but sometimes he got himself into some dumb choices. Like, you got yourself in the predicaments that you're in because you didn't stop and think and say, what is going to happen if I get caught doing this? So that was my biggest complaint of it. It's not really a complaint, but I don't know. I didn't like that part of it. So that is about it with my August wrap-up. And now on to my September TBR. So my goal is to finish the Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. That is the 0.5 that I have not finished in the first of in August. So I am finishing that. I have about 150-ish pages left. So in the next couple days, I will have a review up here, hopefully, and on to the next. Then I am gonna read Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I love how this doubled in book pages. The other one was 435 pages or 34 pages. This one is, let me see here, 734 pages. So it basically almost doubled. So I am going to read that one this month as soon as I finish book 3. So my goal of the year, if you haven't listened to other videos in the past, my goal is to finish that series this year. I did not read it when I was in high school or anything like everybody else. I was more of a Twilight girl. So, and my husband loved it, and my best friend loved it, and so I'm like, you know what, I might as well finish this series so I know what they are talking about. I've seen the movies, but I have no idea. I don't remember what happened in them. So I'm reading the books, and then I'm rewatching the movies. So my second book is A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. I am reading this with Kate Reads Books on Instagram, or I'm trying to anyway, and I'm really liking it. Well, I hope to really like it. I haven't watched it. I haven't read it yet, but I'm hoping to really like it. I thought it was a good start of fall to read about witches. So, and I'm already reading Harry Potter, but you know, they're different parts of different versions of witches and witchcraft, I'm guessing. So those are the books I'm planning on reading this month. I'm only doing 2.5 actual physical books this month because those are huge books. Discovery of Witches is as big or maybe even bigger. Oh no, 579 pages. So not as big as Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire is, but they're both pretty big books, and so those are the only books I'm planning on reading this month. If I finish those, and that would be amazing. I might do more, but I don't have any picked out yet. I'm also reading, my audiobook for this month so far is Stay With Me by, I cannot say her name, Ayobami. You know what, I'm not going to try it. It will be down in the description. But I am reading that with the new Instagram book club page, Mom's the Word Book Club, which again I will tag down in the bottom for you guys to go check out. I'm hoping that it's cool. I really am liking the book. I've only got through an hour and 15 minutes of like 7 hours so far, but I'm really finding it interesting. It's about a husband and wife in Africa that a lot of people around them are polygamous. She does not want to be a polygamist, but it's been 4 years and she has not gotten pregnant, and in their world, I guess, in their country, it's very important that a woman produce an heir. Even the ones that aren't, you know, kings and queens. He's not a king or anything like that, but it's very important in their religion and in their families to have babies. And she, when they first started dating, she said, I do not believe in polygamy, I want monogamy. And he's like, okay, that's fine. Well, his family pressures him into marrying another woman on top of having his first wife, and you kind of learn about that. So that is about all for this month. So I hope that you guys really enjoyed this video, and please like, subscribe, share, and I cannot wait to talk again. Goodbye.